Cohedia, the large canvas, mind map, focus even. A many-sided jewel of an idea to turn in the mind, to see and appreciate the richness of the angles, surfaces, clearness and depth of its substance, polished with time and thought until it becomes a transparent solid, where one can take a mental stroll in its streets, buildings and vistas to appreciate the full ambience of the settlement. A place to grow up in. Thought and effort are put into creating an atmosphere that is coherent and conducive to the development of the human spirit, enabling the brain connections that bring about cognition. It allows Cohedians to grow roots and wings. Given these, one can travel in 3 dimensions: sideways, onward, and up. I was close to the town of Cohedia once, maybe twice before, but the barge's tiller was not sound, and I lost sight of the land again. Almost drowned once when my boat sank in Peckham. In Cohedia, the currency is the sharing of knowledge, the pool of all our beneficial experience and memory. This is the exchange that drives Cohedia. Cohedia? To begin our tour of Cohedia's cityscape, it is best to start at the Fables Exhibition. The Fables Exhibition and Display is an exhibition for the people. It represents life's toil and the passage of time while we struggle. The release of the tension that builds up with too much cohesion. 1. Secrecy Box. Where the player is pitched into a dystopic and confused headspace. Inside the box is a maze which operates at the speed of light, where time stands still. The game is very quick in real time, but is painfully slow for the player. This is a monthly event for all the residents. The ball should drop into the yellow outer box, where the player can work the route out for themselves. Number 2. Cognitive steps. Here, the sediment stirred by the box is settled, bedded down by the joy of answers found, connection made. Cleared and connected, one takes a cognitive step. Number 3. The intimacy maze. There are many experiences in the labyrinth of life. On entering, one has choices to go with. Walk on down the hall of feelings, thoughts, and events. It all seems so random sometimes. Choices. Choosing, but when we solve the maze, bounding, we are transported. Number 4. Sun shower. After the games of the Fables Expo, visitors shower, play, and relax in this area. Number 5. The Great Exhibition at the Fables Palace. Number 6. In Circle of Intimacy Maze. The gods meet. Transported by the ecstasy of love, they breed. Womb Lake. A child, Xavier by name, made melancholic by life's complexion. Continuing our tour, we examine the buildings and their functions within Cohedia. The plying plant. Cohedia supports itself within the global economy through transdimensional multiplying, or plying, a technique whereby precious original works of art are copied exactly. These are sold at a fraction of the price of the original, popularizing the ownership of art. The Ark of Art. This is the battleship of human creativity, and has a multiplicity of functions. It is not only a gallery, but a warehouse to store works for the plying plant, and also a venue for raves and interactive education. For example, inside, ravers are grooving to DJ Nathan Cole's in the large space, while upstairs, Xavier is art facilitating a group of Key Stage 6 children with his Ahead in Art show. Fall on me! It's a giant pair of golden hands holding a viewing platform. Residents can experience an overview of Cohedia. Chess Plaza. In front of the Arc of Art are large public chessboards, which are available to play the mind-sharpening game of chess. The formal residence. It is a large public housing administrative area. Here lives the president of Cohedia and the other 9 non-permanent members of the good government. First footing nursery. The pupil-to-teacher ratio of 1:5 with an equal number of male and female staff. In these early years, we try to identify what type of learner each individual is. Head expansion school. After attending first footing, children move up to school where their progress is supported and their minds are expanded by the stimulation of others to develop into independent learners. Escada boats. Since the Renaissance, housing has been predominantly formal, cube-based structures. Escada abodes are based on the idea of a snail shell. As the family grows, so can the shell. Aquareed. A system of water-purifying reed beds. Après déjeuner. I failed to see what can have induced a distinguished and intelligent artist to adopt so absurd a composition. Theophile Thor, progressive art critic. Long time, manxome foe he fought, twisting, twirling and bouncing on the eddings. It's a world to look at through my eyes, said the jester to the thief. The jester was older, wiser, and a communicator by trade. The thief, not a stealer of diamonds and pearls, but a thirsty thief of time. Toiling through the rocks and dashes of rapids, the thief shouldered his swag. At last, to understand that he must follow the road of yellow slabs, for it's the journey that's important. At a bridge he clambered out of the boat, or was it a bath, to wander wonderingly in a city. New to the thief, he mooched, overwhelmed by the complexity and pattern, the color and the light. And then, stumbling on, he found understanding, guidance, and support. The V3 Graces. On the advice of these others who knew the streets, he grew to understand Cohedia, its folk, its geometry and its mathematics, its literature, its consciousness and memory, shapes, forms and muscle of color, the enlightenment that distinguishes the human race. Friends Meeting House. Xavier is ministering his Color of God ministry while displaying the canvases that accompany it. Nourishment of life. Books. Library. Veronica is waiting at the library for her appointment with Xavier. Later, he has his dyslexia support meeting with Viv and a study skills session with Victoria. These virtuous V's have vortexed Xavier into venturing into Swan's Way to explore Vitria. Like Athena emerging from the head of Zeus, he pulls a diamond from his ear. Sankhara market. Sankhara is a Buddhist word meaning that the sum of all the properties equals existence. The market sells food and goods from house clearances, which are shipped in by barge and stalled out on Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. On the other days, the area is used by art facilitators with groups to transform obsolete detritus into new ways of seeing. The sum of junk equals existence equals sankhara. The currency of Cohedia is knowledge. All have access to this wealth. We are all artists. We just have to identify our medium. The Hurricane Wind Farm. A 1,000 wind turbines representing the energy of a hurricane that equals 1,000 atomic bombs. These generate the power for Cohedia. At night, they are bathed in light, showing awareness and appreciation of the power of Mother Nature. Below the turbines, crops are grown to be sold at the Sankhara market. Qualia. The specific nature of our subjective experience of the world.